tariffs after his use of an Emergency Powers Act was struck down.
President Trump says the Supreme Court's 6-3 ruling against his use is deeply disappointing.
And
On Lisa Brady, Fox News, the president vowing to press on with tariffs after his use of an Emergency Powers Act was struck down.
President Trump says the Supreme Court's 6-3 ruling against his use of emergency tariffs is deeply disappointing.
And I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country.
The president accused justices of being swayed by foreign influence. President Trump also says he'll now use alternatives to impose tariffs.
Could be more money. We'll take in more money, and we'll be a lot stronger for it. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. We'll continue to do so.
The president has credited his tariff policy for securing new trade deals, some of which President Trump says may now need to be redone.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Today's ruling did not address potential refunds.
The Liberty Justice Center, which filed suit against the Trump administration over the emergency tariffs, said in a statement these tariffs devastated small businesses. They say they will now help those businesses navigate a refund process, including by creating a database and information portal to connect these businesses with attorneys to help them pursue claims.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. California Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom says every dollar unlawfully taken must be refunded immediately with interest, adding cough it up. But again, refund claims could also be headed to court. A federal crackdown in the trucking industry expands again. The transportation secretary says all truckers and bus drivers will have to take tests for a commercial license in English. In many states right now, drivers have to demonstrate English proficiency, but can take the test in other languages. A push to improve safety has been driven by crashes involving commercial drivers who are in the U.S. illegally. Stocks finish higher. The Dow up 230 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Did you know GoodRx can help you save on medication, manage prescriptions, and get trusted health information? If you're one of the millions living with a heart condition, check GoodRx for an easier, more affordable way to manage your health. GoodRx offers common heart medications for under $30. Just search for your prescription, find the best price, then show your pharmacist the GoodRx coupon. And it works whether you have insurance or not. To start saving and better manage your heart health, download the free app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Matter, planets that orbit stars outside of our solar system. Colleague at local media, his research earned him a number of awards, including a NASA Exceptional Mayer was a research scientist at the university's Infrared Processing and Analysis Center. According to his online biography, he focused on dark matter and planets that orbit stars outside of our solar system. Colleagues tell local media his research earned him a number of awards, including a NASA Exceptional Scientific Achievement Medal. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Day 20 of the search for Nancy Guthrie in Arizona.
We talked to a woman with a group called Mothers of the Sonora. They dedicate their lives searching for missing people. Now, one of the women with the group tells us that people in Mexico are aware of the Nancy Guthrie case. They're doing grassroots investigation and foot searches looking for Nancy and other missing people in areas known for criminal activity.
Fox's Matt Finn in Tucson. The FBI not indicating any definitive leads in Mexico. The president blaming the fall government shutdown for slower economic growth in the fourth quarter, 1.4%, a 3% drop from third quarter growth. This as inflation ticked up in December.
Inflation numbers for the end of last year came in as expected. The PCE price index rose 0.4%. For the year ending in December, the increase 2.9%. and 3% for core PCE, excluding food and energy.
Fox's Jenny Cosola. Inflation can throw cold water on another Fed rate cut, even with a slowing economy. Recapping stocks, though, everything higher. The Dow up 230 points. The Nasdaq finishing up 203. The S&P up 47. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Shout out to 217 texter Mick Cronin, likely Packers fan. What a miserable human being.
What the hell's going on out here?
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for this weekend. I hope they just shove it to UCLA just so we can watch Mick Cronin just be dumbfounded.
Are you raising your voice at me?
What will he say next?
I would like to give you kudos for the worst question I've ever been asked.
There's a couple of coaches where it's like, you just don't seem like you'd be a fun hang.
I could give a rat's ass.
You got 2 seats open on a plane. Cronin's sitting at one. You can sit next to him or Signetti. Who you choosing?
I figured out why miserable people are miserable.
Oh, I'd sit next to Signetti, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would too.
Signetti feels like a fun hang.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
ESPN Radio 93.5. We are not, in fact, in the business of misery. Well, maybe a little bit today, guys. Just a little bit, because we're ready for the Illini to take on UCLA and Mr. Cronin. I'm Curtis Allen. That's Evan Stone. Cousin Coop, nephew Coop. I did it again. $1 in the pickle jar. Nephew Coop. He's in the studio as well. Evan Stone, how are you today?
I'm doing good. He might need to get promoted to cousin. Cousin Coop just sounds it flows better.
Flows better. Yeah.
It flows. It's the double C's.
Yeah. It's, you know what? We'll leave it up to the listeners as well on the text line. Maybe that's the next vote we do. You know.
Yeah, that'd be good. Misery, horror or thriller?
Uh-huh.
I'm asking you.
Oh, the movie Misery.
Yes.
Oh, I'll just go ahead and quote Stephen King. It's a horror movie. It's literally Stephen King.
Stephen King isn't just horror. I think we need to, okay, we're not going to do it today because we don't have time, but at some point we need to just explain our definitions of what a horror.
I think it's...
So you think all thrillers are horror?
No, not at all.
What's a thriller?
Well, it depends. Like there's you know how many different subgenres of film there are? Like, oh my gosh. You can say, oh my gosh, but that's what
How
it
is Misery a horror movie?
It's a horror movie. She's a psycho. She kidnaps James Caan.
That's a thriller.
Maybe it was thrilling to you, but it's a horror movie. And also, I'm so fired up already. You're getting me. We're not even talking about the Illini yet. You're getting me fired up. And I get over here, and you know what? I'm signed out of the text thing again. Somebody's messing with the text line again over here. It was fine.
It was me
yesterday, and now I get here. And Coop, did you do this?
No.
Okay.
I
got it. Hey, by the way, we switched sides for a segment here with Evans. Evans, if you're watching the live stream, there's our guy Evan Stone on that side. Now, Coop,
how do I even?
You're nowhere near the chair or the. There you are. There you go. That's fine. There he is. He's there. And once again, I have been signed out of the doggone text club, and I'm fired up about it. Unless someone changed the password, so that'll be the first battle of the day at 217-359-2255. Illinois on their West Coast road trip, taking on UCLA tomorrow night, and we'll get into all of that as well. We've got another pretty loaded show. Aaron Heisen is from the Southern California News Group in Fox Sports, and he was at Cronin's presser earlier today and got some incredible audio and asking him about the incident of him yelling at a reporter the other day, what happened with the Michigan State game, and front and center for all of it. So I'm looking forward to talking with him. That'll be right around 3:45.
Yeah, that should be good.
It will be good. Yeah.
The way that he just turned around and said, "Are you raising your voice at me?" And the guy's like, "What?"
You talk about baiting someone. You know what I mean? Like trying to get somebody a little upset. Yeah.
Huh?
So Aaron Heisen from the SoCal News Group and Fox Sports is going to join us at 3:45, and not just talk about Cronin, but give the UCLA perspective and what this game means for the Bruins tomorrow night against the Illini. Also, our good friend Tim Sinclair, the busiest man in all of media, he's going to join us during the 4 o'clock hour. And this story with the Bears moving to Indiana, Evan, has just it's really taken off in the last 2 or 3 days. And Bob McCoppin from the Chicago Tribune wrote an incredible article about it that really breaks down all the money involved in the invested parties.
Yeah.
And so we're going to talk with him right around 4:25, 4:30 this afternoon. and get into some of that. So plenty to get to, but let's start with Illinois UCLA, man.
Yeah.
I know you're excited for Cronin to get his comeuppance, I guess I should say.
Well, I feel like you can be fiery and angry and intense without being a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I think for a long time people would look at Coach Underwood as like, oh man, that guy is just angry all the time and is just yelling and intense, whatever. But I think Underwood always felt like he was like he would be a fun guy to sit at the bar and swap stories with, and whatever. Mick Cronin just doesn't feel like that guy. Like, he just feels like a grumpy, crotchety guy who just. I mean, he moved from Cincinnati to LA. You think that would do wonders for somebody, but apparently it's gotten worse.
I feel like I would always be in a good mood if I went from Cincy to that warm California weather. Come on.
I don't know. But besides that, this UCLA team, I do want to bring it back to the basketball. They're I don't know if I'd call them a dangerous team. I think they're a good basketball team that is they're in that February rough stretch that I think a lot of teams kind of go through. Sky Clark is always going to be dangerous. Tyler Bilodeau is always going to be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got some good pieces. I'm very interested to see. We've been talking about this West Coast boogeyman trip since the schedule came out. And I'm excited to see, okay, test 1, you passed with flying colors. You didn't even have to go to class. I mean, you just got it. And now test 2, what's going to happen?
You were waiting for me to say something about not going to class, weren't you, Coop?
I wasn't.
Yeah. 217-359-2255. Hey, guess what? I'm signed in. I got the text going again, so that's good.
Okay.
217 texter. Doesn't it depend on what scares you, Evan? Is kidnapping and torturing scary to you, or does it thrill you?
Well, a thriller can also scare you.
Does it thrill you to have someone smash your ankles with a hammer, which is what happens to James Caan?
That's a thriller. It's a
horror movie.
According to Google, it says horror focuses on inducing fear, dread, and disgust through visceral, often supernatural
supposed to make
threats.
you uncomfortable.
Thrillers. You just talked over the main part.
Thrillers prioritize high-stakes tension, suspense, and anxiety, focusing on plot twists and psychological anticipation.
Yeah, that sounds like Misery to me.
Okay. Look up Misery. Not the word Misery, the movie Misery. And tell me what Stephen King calls his book and his movie.
Misery is primarily classified as a psychological horror/thriller.
Kiss my horror butt.
We're both right. But here's my no, you said it's not a thriller. So we're both right and both wrong. Here's my definition.
I'm right.
No, here's what I would say. The last thing that Cooper said, and really it only matters what I think. Is that if there is a supernatural monster effect within it, horror.
No.
If it is capable, when I go to
I'm going to debunk it right now. I'm going to debunk that right now because yesterday you said something to the effect of "there's no monsters." We were talking about Hannibal Lecter, and you're like, "Nope, no monsters." Yeah. They're supernatural, something like that. Besides Freddy Krueger, all the guys from slasher films were regular humans that were tough to kill, like Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Leatherface.
Jason Voorhees is a regular human?
Yeah. He was a man.
He came back to life like 18 times.
We don't know if he came back to life.
Oh, my gosh.
You don't know that. Also, Heath on the text line, Curtis, were you saying that Stephen King said Misery was horror, or if I'm saying because King wrote it, it's horror? No, King called it horror. It was a horror movie.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Oh, we haven't talked about that.
For God's sake, yes, he did. That's part. You know what? The Shining. Is The Shining a horror movie?
Yes,
of course it is. All right, now it's got your super. Okay, now he hated it. He hated the movie because he didn't think it was horror based enough. That he thought Stanley Kubrick, kind of like the Godfather. Look at what they did to my boy. They massacred my boy. It wasn't.
I didn't really like the movie that much either. But
of course.
Well, yeah, me and Stephen King are on the same page.
You are not. There's no way. Give him a heater. There's no way you and Stephen King are on the same page.
I think thriller is so like Misery is a thriller movie to me because the whole time you're just like, what is what is going to get out of it?
Tension's a part of
anxiety inducing.
It's a part of horror.
Can a movie not be both horror and thriller?
It can.
Cooper,
Yes.
that's not the point of this conversation.
Just saying, maybe there's a happy middle.
No.
You're right. That's it.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Coop. That's it. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, I'm out.
And he's just arguing. He knows, you know what? We haven't even been doing this show a year yet, but it's like a married couple. He's already figured out how to push my buttons, and he knows this is one of them.
No. I just say, like, you said, does getting your ankles smashed in or your kneecap smashed in, is that horrifying to you? Lindy's got a good point. Like, just because something is horrifying to you doesn't make it a horror movie.
Now see,
getting curb stomped is not. It's horrifying.
You're talking about a scene. You're talking about one scene in a film.
Nazis are horrifying.
There's, you know what? There's movies about. There's a whole genre of
Nazi zombies.
There are Nazi zombies actually.
Yeah,
their movies aren't
Supernatural.
good. Pretty terrible movies.
Yeah, those would be horror.
Something like that. They're not good. I can tell you that much.
Like I said the other day, the majority of the horror-esque genre is predicated on movies that are not that good. But they're cult classics.
The dump button doesn't work. You're full of three types of crap. You don't know anything.
No, the horror genre is all like B movie. Like the best horror movies are like the B, C movies in the horror genre that people just like.
He
love.
literally drafted Coop. I'm putting you in the middle of this as our son. You literally drafted Silence of the Lambs, which is a horror movie.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Parasite, considered a horror movie for some odd reason.
Really?
I don't buy that.
That's a thriller.
See,
that I would agree with.
That was another thing. Like, I would have been on your side about Parasite. People called that a horror movie. I didn't think it was.
No, it's a thriller.
Yeah, that one's more of a thriller.
Yeah. So we're all on the same page.
American History X is it's a drama, a very, very sad one.
Yeah,
it's a sad, violent drama. All right, can we talk basketball now? Are you feeling better now? You got all that out of your system?
No, I still have a lot more, man.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
Oh,
I still have a lot more.
True.
I just it's important. It's important to me.
I can tell.
Yeah.
What are you Googling? Now he's on it. See, this is when he gets going. He gets on the phone.
No, my wife texted me.
Oh, God. What?
About U.S. hockey. She said these are the U.S. jerseys. And, well, this, okay, so it's USA in Olympic hockey right now.
Mm-hmm.
USA and Slovakia. And she said, the jersey combinations. And I just looked over it. Absolutely.
Totally agree. I was just texting my friends about that. It is terrible.
Awful. Those are the USA jerseys that I like the most.
But then couple that
putting it with the Slovakia jerseys,
Nasty. Not a good look.
You haven't even look at that.
Everybody's on the same team. Everyone's on the same team between the USA and Slovakia based on the jerseys.
That's awful.
217-359-2255. Hey, here's a baseball note for you real quick. Cardinals baseball, spring training, it's back this weekend. And, in fact, 2 games at 11:55 on Saturday and Sunday. Both of them are going to be right here on ESPN 93.5. So if you've just been itching for some sort of baseball and you're a Cardinals fan, we got that for you on ESPN 93.5 this weekend. We've had a few people reach out about our sister station, US 105.9, if they'll be covering any of the Cubs games, and they will be, just not this initial Cubs-Sox series. I think that's only on one of the Chicago stations right now, Coop. I don't know why I'm looking at you.
I can look into it.
I think it's on the Score up in Chicago. I think they're the ones carrying that particular series to start. But then after that, if you're a Cubs fan, you'll find some Cubs spring training games, on US 105.9. Cardinals fans, 11:55 tomorrow and Sunday, spring training baseball back on ESPN 93.5. Keith in Monticello, will you consider the Indiana NCAA football movie when it comes out as a horror movie? Not me, but poor Evan Stone sure will.
Oh, my gosh. You're going to hate what I did just look up.
What'd you look up?
Stephen King generally classifies Misery, 1987, as a psychological thriller or realistic suspense novel rather than the traditional horror movie.
AI? Is that your AI Google quote?
This is a never-ending debate.
No, I just ended it.
He didn't end anything. I'm so close
Once again,
to swearing.
Stephen King and I are on the same page. Just old Steve. You know, both my dads are named Steve, so well, maybe that's I feel like we're connected.
Both my dads are named Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
We're named Steve.
Stop it.
They're both dead now, Cooper.
Stop.
Got it.
They both passed, but they were both named Steve.
Sorry for your loss.
He needs to check the rule book.
We won a game yesterday. And if we win one today, that's 2
Coop.
in a row. We win one tomorrow, that's called a
That's what
winning
you're supposed to
streak.
say.
It has happened before.
Coop, my goodness, from downtown, Coop ended all the discussion. 217-359-2255 while Evan Stone gathers himself. That's a couple times this week where Coop has come out of nowhere with one that
Top rope, man.
I mean, just a flying elbow drop off the top rope to take you out.
Your loss.
Right? I mean, that's up there. That right now, this week, you've already hit 2 on the Mount Rushmore of Coop quotes. All right? Between that and It's a Movie I saw the trailer for.
I saw the trailer.
217-359-2255. We're talking Illinois versus UCLA next on The Drive.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Get ready to make unforgettable memories with your little ones at Elmo's Got the Moves, the all-new Sesame Street live show coming to downtown Champaign. You'll be out of your seat and dancing along with Elmo, Abby, Cookie Monster, and their furry friends. Saturday, March 28th at the Virginia Theater in Champaign. Tickets available at thevirginia.org. An experience you and your child will treasure long after the final song. Elmo's Got the Moves. See you on Sesame Street. Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting want to send you to the next Fighting Illini home basketball game. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 and you could be on your way to State Farm Center. Stop by Parlor Donuts in the Old Farm Shops on Kirby and Madison Champaign before the game to try their layered donuts, cold brews, blended treats, and more. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 to win tickets with Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting. Looking for a fun and affordable way to spend spring break? Head to the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center, located at 102 East Michigan Avenue. From March 16th through the 20th, enjoy public swim daily from 1:30 to 5 p.m. Admission is just $6 per swimmer and only $3 for spectators. In a zero-depth pool, perfect for the little ones. While you're there, grab your membership for the outdoor pool and get ready for summer. For more information, call 217-384-7665 or visit urbanaparks.org. From the Urbana Park District, you belong here.
Good morning, First Federal Savings Bank. How may I direct your call?
Speak with friendly, real people during lobby hours. It matters when you call First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. A real person located at the bank, not a recording, answers your call during lobby hours. Personal, friendly service makes a difference. 217-356-BANK.
Thank you for calling. Have a great day.
Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial, Inc. Fast, friendly, and local with local loan decisions and underwriting. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 435120.
Former Illini Terrence Shannon Jr. of the Minnesota Timberwolves about Ben Quattrone from Sarah Champaign. What kind of friend has he been?
Unbelievable. Ever since I came to this dealership, me and Ben had interactions. He's been a great person this whole time. It still is. I always would recommend him to anybody about a car or anything. He's always going to be there for you no matter what. He always be behind you. He's just a great person.
Visit sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Obviously got off to a nice start on this trip. Played very, very well, I thought, for 40 minutes on both ends of the court. Very nice to have, a full complement of players back. I thought Andre was terrific in his 18 minutes. And, all in all, a unique night. Doesn't happen very often in the Big Ten. Now it's on to UCLA in the next, and a very, very good basketball team. They're tough. They're well coached, and got a sensational player in Bilodeau. Got a very, very effective player in Dent, and then they've got veterans in Sky Clark. Perry's now a veteran. So this is a team that's very good, and they're coming off a tough road trip, and I'm sure we're going to get angry and fired up UCLA team.
ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. That is Brad Underwood in his presser earlier today, getting ready for tomorrow night's game. Underwood and the Illini, of course, already out on the West Coast in Los Angeles. The Illini taking on UCLA. I'm Curtis Allen. That's Evan Stone. It is The Drive. And our guy, Cooper O'Kelly from the Champagne Room, our intern, he's in studio with us. And we're kind of switching things up. Coop, you feeling comfortable back there? He's running the board. All right, so if you're a regular listener to the show, Coop is, this is kind of a trial by fire. Is that what we're doing?
He's flying the ship right now.
He's in control. He's in control of everything right now. So if anything goes sideways, we will completely yell at Coop and make him feel awful on the air. Appreciate you spending some time with us. Now, we're going to talk plenty about Illinois and UCLA. In fact, let's do some Illini headlines, though, guys. There's 3 or 4 stories to mention today in regards to the University of Illinois. And, of course, tomorrow night, number 10 Illini taking on UCLA. Second game of the West Coast road trip. Tip-off is 7 o'clock on Fox. And just announced today, Brad Underwood has been named to the Naismith Men's College Coach of the Year watch list. So he's in the running for Coach of the Year honors. Fantastic. Fighting Illini senior Ryan Voice has been named the Big Ten Golfer of the Week following his medalist performance at the Hal Williams Collegiate in Mobile, Alabama. The Big Ten Conference announced the honor yesterday afternoon. Illinois returns to the Atkins Tennis Center for a doubleheader on Sunday when the Illini take on North Carolina at noon and then UIC at 5 o'clock. Sunday's matchup gives the 4-3 Illini a chance to bounce back from their recent defeat at Notre Dame. And finally, the Illini baseball team opened up the Baseball at the Beach with a 9-4 victory earlier today over VCU at Springs Brooks Stadium. The Illini registered a big offensive inning in the 5th, 6th, and 7th when Ben Plumlee and Reed Gannon also combined to allow 1 run over the final 8 frames to secure the win. And the baseball team's going to be out at Spring Brooks Stadium for the weekend. Those are your Illini headlines.
Baseball season.
It's here, man.
Almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I saw somewhere, and I think you mentioned this maybe in one of the Illini headlines at one point. So when the Illini baseball team is back in town next week.
Yeah.
It is the earliest Illini home baseball game.
Oh, that already it happened this week. So that happened.
Oh, it already happened.
It happened a couple days ago.
Oh, what weather? No.
Exactly. Bingo.
Jeez.
Yeah, when it was 60-something or whatever. You know,
I missed it.
I was
a week off.
Yeah, but when they come back home from this trip, it's going to be back to, regular February. I think the high tomorrow was like 30 or 25 or something like that. Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah, we had our fake spring, and
we got
it. We got it. So hopefully you enjoyed it. And now it's back to regular winter in Central Illinois.
Got some of the Christmas lights down.
They're still. You know what? They're sitting on my porch, dude.
There's a couple still up that I was like, I'll get to those in March.
And it still looks kind of nice. You feel like sitting outside. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, I just figure I don't have to turn them on.
Yeah.
Like they can stay there. If it's 5 degrees and windy, I'm not getting on my roof to take them down.
No.
So
do you go Clark Griswold with the lights? Do you get pretty crazy with them?
We can. We did not this year just because, life, family, health stuff got a little bit in the way, but typically we like to Clark it up.
Mhm.
So, good stuff. But yeah, Illini baseball back in action. I think you just mentioned Cubs Sox playing right now. White Sox, that is. And if you're watching on the stream, I am not wearing a Chicago White Sox shirt.
Although it looks like it, but it is a Blackhawks, yeah.
It is the Violent Gentleman Hockey Club.
Dude, I love the Violent Gentleman brand. That's good stuff.
So I appreciate that. But yeah, it's a Hawks shirt, which I'm ready for NHL to get back to. But we got Olympic hockey going on right now. The USA are up 2-0 on Slovakia in the second period, trying to get to that gold medal game against Canada.
I'm enjoying it.
Are you really?
I'm enjoying it, yeah.
Okay.
I'm all about it.
All right.
You know what? I watched a little figure skating last night. And
I
was like,
gold, baby.
I bet Evan's watching this right. Yeah, I watched with my daughter. She had Girl Scouts. She got home, and we put on the Olympics just in time. And the young woman's name escapes me right now.
Alyssa?
Yeah.
Alyssa Liu.
That won the gold last night. Incredible performance. And, we're talking Illinois, UCLA, if I'm not mistaken. I think Sunday afternoon, UCLA's gymnastics team is in town.
Yes.
They have an Olympian who...
Jordan Childs,
bingo,
baby.
It's going to be there. So my daughter has been like, well, can we go see Jordan? Can we go? Yeah, we'll figure that out. So, yeah, that's Sunday afternoon, I think 4 o'clock. If you are a fan of the Illini, you want to see an Olympic athlete, an incredible one, a generational talent. Jordan Childs is going to be in town with UCLA Sunday afternoon, taking on the Illini.
Yeah, and she's got a floor routine that is just out of this world right now. So yeah, that's an absolute check out if you're around. But yeah, the Olympics they're getting ready to wrap up here. It's not too much longer.
Really?
A week or so.
I feel like there's okay. I thought you meant like this week. I was like, what? I thought we had another week.
I think yeah. Well, I mean, we're closer to the end than the beginning.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So,
do we have any more bobsled, or is that all done?
I'm sure there's got to be some.
Give me some more luge.
They do like 12 different kinds of bobsled.
That's another thing. I do need to watch Cool Runnings. It's like a tradition. You got to watch Cool Runnings. 217-359-2255. That's your number for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. More texts are rolling in regards to our thriller versus horror debate. I'm not gonna keep it going. It's gonna distract us. I'm gonna get too nerdy about it. But I am looking at the Bruins depth chart right now for tomorrow night. And overall, as Underwood mentioned, this is not a team that maybe you are incredibly terrified of if you are an Illini fan, but they are healthy compared to what you saw with USC. And I go through it, and again, it's a similar thing. You've got a team that's got some length, and they've got some shooters around the perimeter, but we said the same thing, Evan, about USC, and we know how that went. So when you look at this Bruins roster, or when you think about this game, is it more of just like a take care of business kind of vibe to you? Is that just get out of this healthy with a W, or are there other things you're looking at?
I think ultimately, just get out healthy with a W. I don't care if you win by 5 or you win by 35. I mean, obviously, I'd rather win by 35. But I just get the victory and get back home. Like, that's really just after what you did in the first game, which I will say, right now the line is 6.5. I don't know. I mean, I guess that feels about right, but it feels low. Feels on the low end.
Especially coming off of the win you just had, do you think?
Well, yeah, and maybe it is recent, bias, because you're coming off of the win you just had and the couple losses that UCLA just had. And I guess it is what it is. But yeah, ultimately, just win this game, get out healthy. Yeah, you got Keaton Wagler averaging 18.1 points per game, and then Tyler Bilodeau also 18.1 points per game. And so I think there's enough. I remember Donovan Dent.
Yeah.
When he was in the transfer portal last year, that was a guy that I really wanted.
Yeah.
Came out of UNLV.
I believe that is correct. And you know what? I would effort that. But I am learning the hard way that the computer that you've had to use, you don't lie about it.
Yeah.
We've completely, this is like if a band decided we're all going to play different instruments. So I'm sitting where Evan normally sits. Evan's sitting where Coop normally sits, and Coop's running the board. He's in charge. He's in charge of the ship right now. And so, I'm seeing how the other half lives. And to that point, I want to formally apologize to you, Evan, for something. Because there are times I'm like, why is it taking him so long to tell me an answer to a question? And now I realize why. Because this section is on dial-up, apparently. So
yeah, no, that stuff over there, it's not even dial-up. I think there's a little hamster underneath.
He falls off the wheel.
And he's, sorry, it wasn't UNLV. I knew it was Southwest. It was New Mexico. He was at New Mexico, another red and black team down there. And when he transferred, he's a guard, 6'2", 185. But when he transferred, man, that was a guy that I really wanted, and he rebounds the ball well, or he's an assist man for UCLA this year, but also rebounds well for a guard. But he's averaging 7.5 assists per game, but he's really struggling shooting the ball this year. So if you look at his splits, New Mexico, his freshman year, he shot 20% from three. Okay, not a great year. Low amounts. But then sophomore, junior year, he shot 40% from three. So he really got going. This year so far, he's shooting 17% from three. So he's really struggling. He's struggling to get it going out there in Los Angeles. But there's some guys on this team that I think you still gotta worry about. And like you said, I think they're decently healthy, unlike USC was.
217-359-2255. That's your number for the Max Twin City Recycling text line to chime in. What are you looking forward to? If you have any concerns, what are they about tomorrow night's Illinois versus UCLA game? Lindy on the text line, our guy. So what would you call the movie Fear Island? Awful. That's what I would call that movie. Not good.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
You don't even bother. Nope. Don't bother with that one. 217 texter. Is Cool Runnings a comedy? Very funny, 217 texter.
It's a thriller. It's thrilling.
It's the last 20 minutes, very thrilling, Can it be a comedy thriller? Sure. Maybe it's I don't know. I have to look up. I don't know of too many comedy thrillers, but I bet there's got to be one. Oh, yeah. What's the Broken Lizard guys, after they did Super Troopers, what was the next movie they did?
Oh.
You know what I mean? And they're on an island, and it's not Fear Island. I know that. Everyone's trying to look it up. But anyways, it's like it's a parody of Jimmy Buffett and there's
Shaun of the Dead.
Horror comedy.
There are
horror comedies.
Yeah.
Maybe I've answered my own question.
Club Dread.
That's it.
It.
Club Dread. There you go.
Yeah. Lindy said, I'm not looking forward to Sky going off for 28 points, which is a guarantee. I mean, Sky's gonna
get his.
He's gonna go off.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that he's gonna get booed on his home floor?
I think.
Well, that's a good question.
I'm going to be honest. I feel like the vitriol that Sky got here was overstated. Like, I don't know if there should be that much vitriol for Sky Clark in Champaign. I think he's also more than made up for it.
You know what? That brings up an interesting topic, though, Evan. And I know that most fan bases can be this way, but there is something a little bit extra from Illini fans when we feel we have been wronged by a player or a coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a depending on whatever sport you're looking at, it's usually a program that is starved for success, or you want to get over that hump. And so we take it a little bit extra personally, Illini fans do, if somebody bails and goes somewhere else.
Yeah, and I think just what that team was that year and how frustrating it ended up being, that played a role into it as well, as you're getting to the end of the year and thinking, man, if we had a true five-star point guard helping run this show, maybe it would have been differently. But I also know, man, the Clark family had a lot going on that semester. His dad got really deathly ill and sick, and his dad did sadly end up passing this past year.
Yeah.
And so I think that hatred is a little bit overstated.
Yeah.
Because then also, Trey White ended up coming here because Sky Clark told him he should. He convinced him that this was a great place to be. And so I got love for Sky. Wish it would have worked out better, but it looks like it's worked out best for both parties. So I think it's okay.
Something I saw? Well, go ahead and finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying, I think where it's really going to get ugly, and Lindy, I was getting here, but Lindy just texted in, Merez Johnson next Friday night.
We've been talking about
that's
that
going to be brutal
for months. We have been talking about that one for months. Do you remember this when the schedule came out and we were talking with Tosk, and that was the one everybody went, whoa, man, is it going to be hostile at the State Farm Center that night? It's going to be loud. It was going to be a big game anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah.
A little extra juice in it.
Oh, with everything that you're looking at when you're talking Big Ten title too, and him leaving town and all that. So that's going to be a loud one. That's where the earlier maligned Orange Crush, I think, is going to be nice and loud and proud and let him know a few things. And it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Interesting. Muhammad listener texted in and said, did you read this one?
No, it's very, very slow over here.
Small. Said small sample size, but I don't think anyone has swept the LA teams in the Big since it began.
I want to say that I saw somewhere that Michigan did it last year, but I can't.
Well, you know what? Maybe the Illini will do it better, baby. How about that?
Do it better. Well, they're off to a great start. So, yeah, I mean, you got two teams that this is the same thing as the USC game. UCLA is maybe not as much as USC, but they're still fighting for that tournament seeding. On the right side of the bubble, the wheels can definitely fall off for them, and they can find themselves not in the tournament. So they want a quad 1A win to hop on the board here and essentially lock in their spot for the NCAA tournament. So you're going to get a desperate UCLA team, not only for NCAA tournament, but also this is their first game in almost a week, coming off of 2 30-point losses, and they're going to want to really get that taste out of their mouth.
Absolutely. 217-359-2255. That is your number for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Coming up in just a few, we're going to talk with Aaron Heisen. Aaron is a reporter for the Southern Cal News Group in Fox Sports. He covers UCLA. He covers the Bruins. And he was up close for Mr. Cronin's apology earlier today. So we'll get an interesting perspective on things from Aaron, and also continue to preview Illinois versus UCLA. That's next on The Drive.
Reggie, tell me why you love real estate.
Oh, gosh. I'm on my 19th year in real estate, and the best part about it all truly is the friendships you make. Just the lifestyle, that culture in our office. I mean, I just love what it's given me for my life, especially when it's a win-win transaction and people move into their homes. It's really wonderful to see their dreams come true.
How do I reach out to you?
First of all, I've got a website, ReggieTaylorHomes.com. My phone number is 217-419-0141, and my email address is rtaylor@caldwellhomes.com.
Why do you like what you do?
I really enjoy helping either a buyer or seller to get to the next chapter. And they're relying on Reggie and I to help them achieve their next goal.
You're their realtor.
We're their realtor. It's Taylor Folt's team, Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group. You can find me on the internet at dianafoltz.com. Cell phone number is 217-840-4133. And my email is diana@dianafoltz.com.
Let your local farmer's insurance agent Michael Rumsey put his experience to work for you. Michael Rumsey proudly serves Champaign County families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030 to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Bulldog Disposal in Muhammad is excited to introduce a brand new service, the Doggy Bag. It's a 6 cubic yard dumpster bag that's perfect for all your household cleanouts, small remodels, or repairs. Have pieces of an old roof you need to get rid of? Use the Doggy Bag. Have a garage full of junk? Use the Doggy Bag. Bulldog will drop the bag off and let you keep it as long as you need to. Then, once you've got it filled, they'll come back and pick it up. Find out more online at bulldoggybag.com.
Support the Champaign County Fair in Kessler Hall on Saturday, February 28th with the Cash Bash. Your $100 ticket gets you a spot on the playing board to try to win the big money and a grand prize worth $5,000. Get friends together for the dinner, drinks, and a night of fun on the fairgrounds at 1302 North Kohler Avenue in Urbana. It will benefit the operations of the Champaign County Fair happening July 24th through August 1st. Saturday, February 28th. It's the Cash Bash. Visit ChampaignCountyFair.cc. Voters across Illinois are going to the polls for the primary election that will wrap up on Tuesday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. You'll be selecting candidates that best represent you and your district in the general election on November 3rd. Voting by mail should be done 5 days prior to the election or March 12th for your ballot to be counted. There are 11 drop boxes in Champaign County. To get up-to-date information and review your ballot, visit the county clerk's website. Let's get the vote out and exercise this right through March 17th with the crew at Stevie J Broadcasting.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
I was wrong. I apologize to him. That being said, the brand's important to me, so I need to dial back some of my humor, Ben, so I apologize. I'm lucky to coach here, and like my advice, I've said this to guys like, you get older. You have to realize, and I have to do a better job of this, that in this climate, you got to be careful with what you say. Because here, I'm a good fit here because I know I'm not bigger than the brand. And the brand matters here. The school matters. The last thing I want to do is bring negative publicity to our school. And sometimes because it's not about me, I don't care what people think about me. I need to do a better job knowing, well, I am the coach here and I need to make sure I don't do anything to embarrass our school. So for that, I apologize because that I don't want. I apologize to our people, schools, students, everybody in our community. Because it's important. You get these jobs, you got to raise money, you got to be friends with donors. I mean, I believe in all that stuff. So as I tell you, I'm trying to protect our brand. I don't want our guys taking some guy out while he's in the air down 25. That's Bush League, not what happened. But the same goes for me. I got to make sure that I represent us in the right way. So that being said, we got a problem. Illinois is really good.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. That was UCLA Bruins head coach Mick Cronin earlier today, apologizing for, what was a rather rough week. And that audio came to us from Aaron Heisen. Aaron was at the presser earlier today, and right now he's on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Aaron, how are you doing, sir?
Hi, Curtis. Thank you for having me on the show today. I'm doing well.
Well, we appreciate you hopping on with us, and there's a little echo. I don't know if you've got that on your end or not.
I do. I can give you a call back if that would work better.
Well, if we're on speaker, we can. If you just hop off, I think that'll do the trick.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Whoa, it's perfect.
No, it's very good now. Yeah, man, you sound great.
Okay, good.
Awesome. Well, Aaron, let's start with the presser. Let's start with that. What did you? I mean, you were right there, literally up front. The audio came from you that we just played. So great work. And what did you make of Mick Cronin's apology that he made today to the media?
Yeah, I think he walked into the media room and without being prompted with a question, he just started speaking. He spoke for 4 minutes straight, uninterrupted, issuing an apology about, how he treated his player and how he disparaged UCLA's brand on a national level. I think in the moment, I took it as very genuine. And then after kind of rewatching my own video, it's really tough to tell. I think there's a million people in his head telling him that he has to, apologize or maybe stick to his words. So I really don't know. But I think that when you see something like that, the repercussions on a national level, you have to answer to it. And so I think it's, I said this morning when I was heading to the press conference, I had a couple theories. And the first one, I did have a feeling that he would apologize. The other theory was that he would just kind of play it off and not apologize. So I think I'm glad that he did, just from a moral standpoint, own up to his mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming on the heels of a very interesting week also where Kansas State fired Jeremy Tang after he had a very intense press conference moment and some stuff with his team. It feels fascinating because I felt the same way you did. At first it's like, oh, good job. And then, okay, how much of this is saving face? How much of this is some of the higher ups saying, hey, you're not going to embarrass us like this. You need to, all that stuff. And him just trying to backtrack a little bit on the situation this past week.
And I think that's a great point that you bring up Jerome Tang, because the things that he said, in my opinion, were nowhere near to some of the things that Mick Cronin has said on camera and in interviews. And the fact that Kansas State is trying to fire him for cause, now, albeit their record is a lot worse than UCLA's, so I'm sure that has something to do with it. It could scare someone like Mick. It could scare someone like Mick because his comments and his actions are bordering on harassment or bordering on language that could be fired for cause. Now, I don't have the contract details of his recent extension. I put in a request for that public information. There's not much beyond kind of the numbers that have been released, but the language of Jerome Tang's contract was pretty broad, I guess is the word that I would say, and it could see him be in a pretty sticky situation. So I wonder if there's language in Mick's contract that could deem these comments as harassment and could be close to getting him fired for cause. I don't know, but I think when you see someone like Jerome Tate treated in that way, it could scare you as a college basketball coach.
Aaron, this might be just, I know it is. This is just a little speculative, but when we get into Cronin and possibly being on the hot seat, you've got a team coming to town in Illinois that is eyeing an opportunity to play for a national championship. I mean, that's the ultimate goal of Brad Underwood in this group. And coming off of what just happened at USC, if this game tomorrow night goes similar to that, how hot is Cronin's seat from here on out for the rest of the year?
Well, I think it's really tough because, to give you a little context, the contract, that extension that he signed is a 3-year deal that runs through 2030, I believe. And the buyout that Mick has for this season is $22 million. It goes down to $18 million next year. The administration, because of its financial state, is in no place to pay a buyout of that case. So I don't think that his seat is as hot as people think it is or want it to be.
Gotcha.
I do think that if, Illinois dominates UCLA like it did USC, like it has a lot of teams this year, the fans could turn on Mick Cronin pretty quickly. So I think that's kind of the fear there. But I think it would be – the administration has to think long and hard if it wants to be able to pay that buyout and to justify paying that buyout.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That's Evan Stone. Aaron Heisen from Southern Cal News Group and Fox Sports is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us.
I mean, it's a really good point you bring up about the buyout because if there's any way to make a move without having to pay a buyout, which is what Kansas State is trying to do right now, his seat might get a little bit warmer because I'm looking through the UCLA schedule this year, and obviously 17 wins, you're on the right side of the bubble, but if you really go through it, what are the wins as you're trying to process through this? They were the first team to put that kind of chink in Purdue's armor. They gave Purdue their first loss. But outside of that, what is the best win on the season that keeps a fan base kind of engaged?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been a confusion of mine as well this year. I think you've heard Mick Cronin complain about UCLA's travel since going to the Big Ten, and because of that, he kind of refused to play any non-conference games outside of the Pacific time zone. So, UCLA had been in the CBS Sports Classic for many years and opted out of that because of travel, where they played, I think if you don't remember, they played North Carolina last year in Madison Square Garden. And it's a one-off game. You're flying to Madison Square Garden from L.A. It's tough. I understand why you don't want to play in that game. So UCLA, their two big non-conference games were Arizona and Gonzaga. Well, Arizona is arguably the best team in the nation. They stuck with them. They ended up losing that game. And then Gonzaga, before they lost Braden Huff, another top 10 team, UCLA stuck with them. They weren't able to pull it out. So when you lose those two games and you don't have any other opportunities to make a statement on your non-conference schedule, yet they also lost to California, UC Berkeley. So, and I think it's fair to be like, okay, we don't want to travel outside of the Pacific time zone, and we'll get enough of a resume playing in the Big Ten because there's 10, 15 quad 1, quad 2 games in that schedule. Well, it puts a pretty big onus on winning those games. And UCLA while they beat Purdue, like you said, they've lost the teams that are on the bubble with them. Iowa, Ohio State, Wisconsin, those three teams, you have to win at least one or two games to feel confident about your standing. And because you can be okay losing to a team like Michigan, Michigan State, even Illinois, if you take care of business against those teams that are just above the bubble.
Aaron, let's talk about the game itself. Let's switch subjects a little bit, and let's talk about the starting five of UCLA and how they will match up, or how you attempt to match size with the Illini. Keaton Wagler has emerged as one of the premier players in the country, and you look at a young man like Andre Stojakovic, who is coming off of a high ankle sprain, but looked just fine the other night in about 18 minutes of play. So when you're looking at the matchups here, where is a strength that you see for the Bruins?
Yeah, it's tough because, I'm a big Ken Palm believer, and Illinois has basically broken that tracker this year on offense. And one thing that Mick Cronin was saying today was how you kind of have to track them as two different teams based off when Keaton Wagler started being in the starting lineup. And I think that's totally fair. And if they had issues with Michigan State and Michigan's offense, oh, buddy, you're going to have even bigger issues with Illinois. So I don't really know where the strengths lie, because another issue with UCLA is their rebounding, and Illinois is an elite rebounding team. So it's tough. You look across the board, it's like, where can we really get these strengths? I think UCLA does have some athleticism that they can lean into. You got Eric Daly Jr. On the wing. He's a pretty athletic player. He's been kind of reduced to a role where he's a rebounder this year, but I do think he could kind of be a strength in transition for UCLA. But I don't know if there's really a matchup for Keaton Wagler, because Sky Clark is probably going to guard him, but he's been in and out of the lineup with injuries, with cramping, and Keaton's 6'6", 6'7", so it's tough to put a 6'3" guard on him. It's going to be a really tough matchup for UCLA. I think they have to take care of the ball and not turn it over, because if you let Illinois get extra possessions than they're already afforded, it's going to be a racetrack or a race track meet. Sorry, and you're not going to beat Illinois in a track meet. So it's going to be a tough game for UCLA.
Yeah, I mean that's true. You're not going to beat Illinois in a track meet. You're also not going to beat them in let's slow it down and grind it out, and you're not going to, it's just the way that Illinois, as you talk about, they're just breaking Ken Palm, especially on the offensive end, highest numbers we've seen, and yet they're one of the slowest teams in tempo in the nation,
right.
And that's just because they're so efficient in what they do. And so you saying UCLA struggles at rebounding has got everybody in Central Illinois kind of licking their chops a little bit. So do you see the line's only 6.5 for tomorrow night? Do you see any sort of surprise that could happen, or do you think maybe it's okay, let's get out of this one and just get to the rest of the schedule for UCLA?
Well, look, I will say Mick Cronin is a pretty good basketball coach. You got to give him that. Yeah. He's offered some upsets before. He's authored some runs, and it was a similar kind of formula with Purdue, how they played at USC first and being in LA, got a nice win under their belt, were feeling good about themselves, and then came into Pauley Pavilion and weren't ready for the Bruins, I guess, or however you want to say it. But so I do think there is that chance. I think UCLA has the talent to play with a lot of teams in the country. They just haven't shown it a lot this year. So they showed it in that Purdue game. I think they could show it against Illinois. But I think I like to liken Illinois, I don't know if you guys have talked about this, but to the hardened Houston Rockets, especially since Keaton Wagler has started taking over, where they're so elite in the half court because you just have this high usage guard that can break down an offense as good as anybody, but he's also just such an elite passer. And then you have guys on the wings who they can, make a play in the last few seconds of the shot clock if he's taken up 15, 20 seconds dribbling the ball. You got Mirkovic on the wing, who's just really creative, and Stojakovic, too, who can just get past the defender. And then if they miss, they get the rebound. So I like to liken it to the Houston Rockets in 2016 when they were, a really dynamic offense.
Yeah, that works. Okay, Aaron. I think that's a
a good comparison.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wish we would have thought of that.
Yeah, no. We got about 10, 15 seconds left, but before we let you go, how does UCLA fill their arena? Because at USC, the Illini turned it into a home game, and they had more fans there than USC.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been an issue all season. I was covering the women's basketball game last night. They're number 2 in the nation. Had about 2,000 fans there. I just think it's really tough in Los Angeles to compete with some of the pro teams and to, I guess, warrant going to Westwood on a weekday night. But this is a weekend primetime game. The Purdue game, like you said, was sold out, but that was because it was 30-40% Purdue fans. So I think that we could be looking at a similar situation where it's Illinois 30-40%. it's just difficult, especially when you're putting out this image to the fans that you're, berating players and reporters. It's not going to draw fans to want to come to your game. So you got to win first in Los Angeles, and then the fans come. I think that's the issue.
Aaron, where can they find you on the socials, man?
Yeah, my Twitter is just my name, Aaron Heisen, with an underscore in between the first and last name. Instagram is the same way, just my first and last name. So, and then if you want to read my stuff on the SoCal News Group, please take a look. I really appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you.
You got it. That is Aaron Heisen on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Really appreciate his insight on Cronin and the game tomorrow night. We are set for news, so let's hop into that now on The Drive.
Being fools and lapdogs for the rhinos and the radical left Democrats.
Still, the president said the administration will press ahead with an aggressive tariff policy using alternative presidential authorities.
There will no longer be any doubt, and the income coming in and the protection of our country will actually.
Still, the president says the administration will press ahead with an aggressive tariff policy using alternative presidential authorities.
There will no longer be any doubt, and the income coming in.
Also saying he does not expect any loss of revenue with the alternatives. Bessent also just telling Fox this about the economy slowing down to 1.4% growth in the fourth quarter.
What's concerning for me is the Democrats' willingness to crash the economy to make a ridiculous point. So it was this longest shutdown in history that caused the fourth quarter to crash.
Adding the administration still believes growth can top 3% this year. Police in Las Vegas confirming they're investigating a ramming incident as a possible terrorism-related event. The driver was in New York and died after crashing into a power substation in Boulder City, which is home to the Hoover Dam. Police say he called himself a terrorist in a message to his mother and had extreme ideology information in his hotel. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Tell Good RX Rodin, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flag.
Had extremist ideology information in his hotel. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1 that got spun around.
Tell Good RX Rodin, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags in a red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected.
CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The Voices America trusts. Download it now.
The Trump administration is rolling back air regulations for coal plants.
The Environmental Protection Agency is easing pollution standards for coal plants, citing the need to boost energy production from key air regulations.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. A campaign for safer trucking rolls on.
The debate really is, do you want well-trained, well-qualified drivers behind the wheel of a big rig driving on American roads? It's very simple.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announcing the latest part of his crackdown, commercial driving tests in English for all truck and bus drivers. Practice for NASA's next moon mission is going well ahead of a launch next month.
NASA's Space Launch System rocket and Orion capsule intended to carry the mission
commercial driving tests in English for all truck and bus drivers. Practice for NASA's next moon mission is going well ahead of a launch next month.
NASA's Space Launch System rocket and Orion capsule intended to carry the Artemis 2 mission to orbit the moon is in good shape, having passed their rehearsal test fill of the rocket's fuel.
All three higher for the week. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Urbana Park District is hiring. Are you looking for a summer gig or a side hustle? With great jobs as a lifeguard, camp counselor, grounds crew, customer service representative, and other opportunities. Young adults getting a first job to boost their resume. Line up a new gig that's convenient right along the MTD bus line. Learn more about the job openings online at urbanaparks.org. Make some money, serve the community, make connections this summer with the Urbana Park District.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man. Kelsey
Furniture, downtown Tuscola. So we like talking to Gale Frericks Trucking and Dedicated Diesel, the two businesses you guys run. So talk to me about Gale Frericks Trucking. Why do your drivers like driving for you?
I think because we care about them getting home and having a home life as well as making money, and that they're allowed to be safe.
How about Dedicated Diesel? Who should know about that?
Oh, anybody with a truck or trailer that they work with. We're open now for federal inspections. We can do those. Dedicated Diesel, I've got a couple of great new guys in there, and Melissa's helping on the front end, and I just couldn't be happier with the way things have progressed and the improvements that we've made.
Well, thank you for putting trucks out there that are safe, and you have drivers that are trained up and experienced.
And keeping the rigs up when it comes to those safety stickers with that safety lane service.
Yeah, every month we have a list of annual inspections that Donna puts out to the guys at Dedicated Diesel, and they have to get those inspections done.
That's Dedicated Diesel and Gale Frericks Trucking with Tim Onstadt. Good work.
Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
It is The Drive, ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. And then there's the nephew / cousin Coop, who asked an interesting question when we went to break. Coop, do you want to repeat that question?
I just don't know what dial-up internet.
He asked, what is dial-up? Because I said one of the computers was on dial-up. Maybe the next guest, Evan Stone, might know. I feel like we're all around the same age. He's the busiest man in all of media. You know him as your favorite PA announcer. Tim Sinclair is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Tim, do you remember dial-up internet?
Bing, bing. I'm aware.
That's literally what we did the first time. Mom yelling at you to get off the computer because she's got to make a call.
That's right.
You know, just all the good stuff.
Tim, how are you, man? How's it going?
I'm great, man. It's busiest time of the year, or one of them. But I prefer it that way, and I've been through some slow stretches of winning when it comes to the teams I've worked for, but these last number of months have been a whole lot of fun, so I'm in a great mood.
Well, I don't even know where to start. Should we start with you getting an apartment in Hammond? How about that? Do you need to get an apartment in Hammond now, or what's next?
I haven't signed a lease yet. We'll put it that way, but apparently no one has. So.
No one has. There you go. You are all over the place. Of course, Illini fans know you very, very well. And I remember a few years back when you told me about getting the gig with the Bulls, and I was so excited for you. And then, of course, you had mentioned to me that you were getting the Bears job, and I was, as a fan of the Bears, over the moon for you. Let's start with the Illinois and Bulls aspect of your schedule, because you just said goodbye to Ayo Dosunmu, and that's somebody that you covered for a long time.
Yeah, hard to believe it was almost 8 seasons with Ayo, doing every single one of his home games for 3 years at Illinois, and then almost 5 with the Bulls. And I've worked in sports quite a while, and I've gotten to know and meet a lot of players, but that one was the first one that hurt when there was a trade. It was you know that it's a business and people got to do what they've got to do, and I understand all that. But my hope, my Illini fan, my personal, I've gotten to know him and like him. Part of me was like, oh, maybe he's going to stay and can be a Chicago lifer, but that's not how it all worked out, and obviously tremendously disappointed, but wishing him nothing but the best in Minnesota. And if he gets a chance to, make a whole ton of money or go win a championship, then I'll be the happiest guy in the world for him.
Well, yeah, and one of the things that's been great is because when these trades happen, you don't know when the last time you're going to announce someone is. And like you said, you've been announcing Ayo from Chicago for 8 years almost. Between Illinois and Chicago. So you've been posting on Facebook some of your last announcements for guys like Ayo. And what's that process for you? It's got to feel a little bit painful, but also okay, one more good one.
Yeah, it's a little it's strange because I hadn't honestly. We had like one home game during that last stretch. Leading up to the trade deadline, and so it didn't ever cross my mind when I left whatever that game was that a bunch of those guys might not be back by the time I stepped foot in the building again. And I certainly hadn't considered Ayo. I just sort of was not thinking about that. So after it happened, obviously, I got a ton of people reaching out, including Ayo, his mom, some others, which was really cool. But I thought we should at least do one more introduction that can live online for a while. Obviously, when he comes back next season, we'll welcome him back and do the video and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted one to live online, so I posted it. Not exactly sure if it who would care, but a lot of people did, and so I did one more for Kobe White and one more for Nikola Vucevic as well, just to kind of give them an online send-off, and obviously when they come back to the United States the first time, we'll do something special over there too.
Tim, this is a 2-part question. First part, now how long have you been doing PA for the Illini?
This is year 11 with men's basketball, I think.
Okay.
And I did some before that, but I was never the guy. So in terms of being the main one, I think it's 11 with Illinois basketball. I did Illinois women's basketball for 10 years, starting in 2012. And I want to say 2008-ish is when I really first started doing whatever they would ask me to do. Baseball, swimming and diving, gymnastics, wrestling, whatever.
Well, having said that, you always have the best seat in the house for Illinois men's basketball. When you are watching this team, how does it compare to the other teams you've been able to watch over the last decade?
It's a great question. I feel like there's a lot of ways I got to answer this, but the thing that comes to mind first is that there aren't many holes. We had the teams with Ayo and Kofi, and then you had Terrence and Coleman, and you've had a lot of really fearsome twosomes.
Yeah.
And then role players who were good. Don't get me wrong, in most cases, but it feels like with this team, anyone can kill you. From Jake and Ben, who can shoot the lights out and get rebounds and do all the things role players need to do, to any of the other guys who can have a 15 to 25 point night. Ivasic and Wagler and Mirkovic and Stojakovic, all the guys can score. And so there just aren't holes. And if you take away one thing, as we watched last night, all right, they're going to key on Keaton Wagler. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's give it to anyone else and let them score. And they can and they do. So I think that's the big difference. Just more talent across the board, and then a surprise rising star in Keaton Wagler, who, doesn't feel like anybody can stop him completely, no matter how many people they throw at him.
I want to switch directions just a little bit, which it feels like we're jumping around quite a bit, but that's also kind of just your life, jumping around to different sports. So you are the Chicago Bears stadium announcer. So when Caleb Williams on 4th down starts sprinting backwards, throws up a prayer, Cole Kmet catches it, what was the like in your little kind of insulated, isolated booth where you're doing announcing, what did the stadium feel like to you in that moment, and how did you keep your composure to then say, oh, touchdown Bears?
Yeah. Well, first of all, that's not how I said those words in that moment.
Hey, guess what, guys? They scored.
They scored. Look at that. What do you know? Just like we all predicted. Looking back at, and I've watched the play a million times, but as I reflect on my experience in the booth just above section 234, watching it all play out, it is always very much in slow motion. Obviously the crowd was into it. It was 4th down. It was do or die. And so there was noise, but it felt like as he began running backwards, I don't remember anything other than silence. Now, it wasn't completely silent, but it felt like it got quiet as the stadium kind of either collectively held their breath or collectively realized there was no shot that this was going to work. And while the ball was in the air, it was just silent, again, in my brain. And when Cole caught that pass, the world exploded, it felt like. I understand how the tops of big buildings can move. I'm not at the top. I'm not in the press box. I'm in the 200 level, and we were moving. There are 30,000 people above me, and my booth was swaying when that pass was caught, and it was just complete bedlam. It also felt like destiny, which is, I think, what made that loss hurt so much more. If that ball had sailed out of bounds or Caleb had gotten sacked, it would have been a disappointing end. But because there was another miracle play for like the 3rd time in 4 weeks, it felt like this has to go the Bears' way. It was the movie, and this movie is going to end with the Bears winning and advancing to the NFC Championship game. So I don't know how I don't know that I kept my composure, but I did my job, and I don't know that a soul in that building, despite all the amplification, heard a word that I said because everybody was going crazy.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. And the one and only Mr. Tim Sinclair is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us right now. Well, Tim, what is next on your agenda when you look at, we'll just say, the next couple of months? Because, Evan and I, we're always joking about how you're all over the place. But what is your schedule like coming up next?
Yeah, starting tomorrow, I'm pretty busy it feels like every day for about 6 weeks. We've got 6 more Bulls home games in the next 10 days. The Chicago Fire season kicks off a week from tomorrow at home. Actually kicks off tomorrow on the road. But we'll have a home game next Saturday. I've got a few other, special events and things I've got to go do. Going to record in New York for the 2K video games here in a couple of weeks. That's just like a one day out I'm there for like 4 hours to record all my parts and then fly right back. So it's not as glamorous as it sounds, but I get to do that. And then I can't talk a ton about it, but I'll be headed to do 4 or 5 World Cup matches in Guadalajara, Mexico in June. So get a chance to go and do those, and very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, I know we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to break any contractual laws.
No, we're not breaking any rules.
Agreements. Nope. But how long have you been doing Chicago Fire? Because I didn't even put, soccer on the radar right now. And so when this popped up and you announced this, I was like, oh my gosh, it's just the biggest sporting event in the world. Can you roll your R's, first of all?
I can. I just don't know that I will. In that, like, there's a thing with public address announcers. Some feel like you need to sound like you authentically speak the language of whatever name you're saying.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with that at all. I'm an English speaker speaking primarily to English audiences.
Yeah.
And I don't speak Spanish fluently. I can speak it a little bit. And I want to be authentic. And everybody knows I'm an English speaker speaking to English audiences. So I try to say it correctly, but with an American accent. All that said, I've actually been doing the Fire longer than any of my other sports. This is year 13, I believe, with the Chicago Fire. So I've gotten to do lots of cool stuff over the years. The MLS All-Star Game, called nearly every Premier League team there is for a match here in the United States. I was on tour with them last summer. So I've gotten to do a lot of cool stuff in soccer, but this is the biggest sporting event in the world, and in the history of the world. 6 billion people, I believe, are supposed to watch the games.
Yep.
So I'm really I'm going to spend a month in a different country working these matches, and you don't get those opportunities very often. So I can't wait.
2 more questions for you, and then we'll let you go because you are, in fact, the busiest man in all of media, Tim. But one, do you get a chance to ever just kind of step back and look at what you're doing? Like, you're World Cup, right? Have you ever stepped back and gone, man, this is pretty darn cool?
That's a tough question for me to answer. I'd like to say yes, and I think I do try to take in the event. There's only so much you can do while it's happening because you're working. You're watching and experiencing things very different than if I had a ticket and was sitting in the stands. But I try. And I think, in 30 years, perhaps I'll have some historical perspective on all the different cool things I have not only got to see up close, but actually have my voice be a part of. But it's really difficult to do because you just look at it very differently than everyone else. I want to be content, but I don't want to be complacent. So I don't ever want to feel like I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, because I absolutely am. And there's no reason to not like, if you've got this job, there's no reason to not like it. And if you don't, you should find something else to do. But also, there are bucket list items and things I want to do and things I want to go try. And the World Cup is on it and the Olympics is on it one day. And so I always want to be thinking about the next thing that I'll have an opportunity to do as well. So to answer your question, I don't know if I've adequately done that. But more than anything, I hope that I've helped the people who are in the stands enjoy those events, even if they don't realize it. I'm part of that experience, a small one, albeit, but I do sort of cherish the fact that there are kids who my voice is the only one they've ever heard at State Farm Center or at Soldier Field or at the United Center, and I'm now that guy that all those guys were to me when I was a kid.
Great answer. Well, then the other part of that is I know Evan and I are both curious. Are you going to do a special goal announcement at the World Cup or just the usual one you've been doing with the Fire?
I don't know the answer to that question. We've still got a lot of time and planning, and the team hasn't met yet in terms of team of entertainment people who are going to be at each individual site. So once I have some of those meetings, I'll know a bit more about what they're looking for. it's not solely up to me as to how those things go. So I will learn more and get back to you. I do not know the answer to that question yet.
Have you called Messi?
I have. Yeah, I've done.
Oh, I thought you meant on the phone. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I've introduced Messi 3 or 4 times. I've introduced Jordan and I've introduced Brady. I've got to get Gretzky somehow. Obviously, it won't be on the field of play, but I figure like if I can get all of the greats, and then I'll just have to go to wherever Babe Ruth is buried and sort of say do some weird introduction there. But yeah, I would like to get Gretzky because I think I'd sort of have or Ohtani, I guess maybe since he's alive, to get all of the living greats would be a pretty cool thing to do.
Okay. Well, we'll let you get back to Oregon Trail. I know that's what you were doing on your dial-up internet before we got you on here.
A long way from doing some weekend radio stuff here and there, Tim. It's awesome, and wish you more success, and looking forward to talking to you again down the road, my friend.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much, and we will talk soon.
All right, that is Tim Sinclair on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line, doing PA for all your favorite sports teams and programs in the state of Illinois. 217-359-2255. And one of those teams is the Chicago Bears, or maybe they'll soon be the Hammond Bears, or the Arlington Heights Bears, or the Canadian Bears. We don't know. They don't know yet. But maybe Bob McCoppin from the Chicago Tribune can tell us coming up next, Evan Stone.
Yeah. Can I give you my hot take for the week?
Terre Haute, Indiana Bears. No. What?
I'd be okay with that.
The Terre Haute Bears?
That'd be so much closer.
Why don't you just come to Champaign? They did that 20-some years ago when they were building a stadium. You know?
Here's my hot take.
No?
I don't care.
That is a take.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one yet from Bears fans.
Care. And I know it's the privilege of not being from Chicago or living up there or whatever, but it's like I'm still going to watch. I'm still going to be a fan. Why do I, as a Champaign resident, care where the Bears are?
I mean, I guess that's fair. I don't know. You keep saying that you'd be okay as long as they're closer to here, though.
Just keep getting closer.
Come on, man.
Keep getting closer to Champaign.
We'll talk with Bob McCoppin from the Chicago Tribune coming up next. We'll see if he can find a way to make Evan Stone care next on The Drive. Get ready to make unforgettable memories with your little ones at Elmo's Got the Moves, the all-new Sesame Street live show coming to downtown Champaign. You'll be out of your seat and dancing along with Elmo, Abby, Cookie Monster, and their furry friends. Saturday, March 28th at the Virginia Theater in Champaign. Tickets available at thevirginia.org. An experience you and your child will treasure long after the final song. Elmo's Got the Moves. See you on Sesame Street.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is the Our Idea is Ready to Launch vision. This is the Create Great Jobs vision. This is the We Need More Space vision. This is Busey, where your business visions become realizations. Through securing capital for growth and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future. Because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
So we like talking to Gale Frericks Trucking and Dedicated Diesel, the two businesses you guys run. So talk to me about Gale Frericks Trucking. Why do your drivers like driving for you?
I think because we care about them getting home and having a home life, as well as making money, and that they're allowed to be safe.
How about Dedicated Diesel? Who should know about that?
Oh, anybody with a truck or trailer that they work with, We're open now for federal inspections. We can do those. Dedicated diesel. I've got a couple of great new guys in there, and Melissa's helping on the front end, and I just couldn't be happier with the way things have progressed and the improvements that we've made.
Well, thank you for putting trucks out there that are safe, and you have drivers that are trained up and experienced.
And keeping the rigs up when it comes to those safety stickers with that safety lane service.
Yeah, every month we have a list of annual inspections that Donna puts out to the guys at Dedicated Diesel, and they have to get those inspections done.
That's Dedicated Diesel and Gale Frericks Trucking with Tim Onstadt. Good work.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Forget Hallis Hall. We're ready for Hammond Hall, maybe. Huh? Does that sound good to you, Evan?
Got a nice ring to it.
Does it? There's some alliteration still. It's ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone, the nephew, Cooper O'Kelly. He's in the studio with us as well. And right now, I'm very excited to talk to this next guest because I read his article, and a few writers put this together about the Bears possibly moving to Indiana and the state of Indiana welcoming Chicago with the Chicago Bears, I should say, with open arms. From the Chicago Tribune, Bob McCoppin is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. How are you, sir?
Good. Thanks for talking with me, Kurt.
Well, it's our pleasure. And like I said, I read the article. It came out yesterday, and it's made the rounds. And this story, I knew it would be a big story among Bears fans or in the circles that cover the Chicago Bears. We have a sister station that's a Bears affiliate. We talk a lot about the Bears on this station, but this has become a national storyline. Where does this stand right now as we're talking today? The likelihood that they being the Chicago Bears, could be playing in a new stadium in Hammond, Indiana sometime in the next few years?
Well, it's still up in the air. I know, Indiana, they had, a House committee approved this deal to create a stadium authority yesterday that could, borrow money, finance and build and lease a stadium for the Bears. And they would put up $1 billion in that is, the state would put up $1 billion, and the Chicago Bears all along have said they're willing to put up $2 billion with a billion with a B to build, an enclosed stadium. But it has not been. It's got to go to the House of Representatives in Indiana next week to be approved, which it probably will be. But the Bears have, they are. Going along with it, but they have not signed anything yet. So Illinois lawmakers, still have a chance to do a deal for the Bears. So nothing is decided yet.
Well, Bob, let me ask you this, because there's a lot of finger pointing right now. And if you get online, you're going to see some fans pointing at Governor Pritzker. You will see other fans pointing at different legislatures. We've talked with Cam Buckner on here about his bill that he was proposing for a Transparency Act for new stadiums going forward. And he was open and honest with us that Kevin Warren and he were friends, but just completely on the opposite side of this story. To me, it feels like maybe more people should be pointing at the Bears front office. Am I wrong in that regard, or what's your take on that?
I'm sorry, it feels like, what about the front office?
That maybe more people should be pointing the finger at them.
There's two sides, at least every story, more than that here. I would say, the Bears they have been trying for more than 3 years to build a stadium in Arlington Heights, out in the suburbs, outside Chicago. And, the state has done nothing about that. The Bears want them to pass this law called the Mega Project Bill that would cost the state nothing. It would just allow the Bears to negotiate with the local school districts to over their property taxes, so they could set their property taxes for the long term. And again, it's just to negotiate. So the local school districts would they could say no if they didn't like the deal. They would. They already agreed to a short-term deal with the Bears on their property out there, but they need a long-term deal. So that's the sticking point. But the problem is that, Chicago lawmakers don't want to help the Bears leave Chicago, so that's why
Right.
the state has not done anything about it. So, I would say every side has their own, incentives for acting or not acting. But now that Indiana, is threatening to steal the Bears away, that changes the equation. And so now Illinois lawmakers are, have to decide whether they want to let the Bears go to Indiana.
So in all of this, it might not be a question to answer, but I just keep getting the sense of like, all right, well, what's next? We're just walking through all of this all together, and feels like there's no end. So literally, just what are we waiting for next, if anything?
Well, like I say, Indiana lawmakers have to vote next week to approve this Bears deal, which they're probably going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But then Illinois lawmakers. So then it'll be up to Illinois lawmakers to decide whether they're going to approve this mega project deal for the Bears. But even if they do, then the Bears. Well, then they would have to start negotiations over property taxes in Arlington Heights. So this could still take a long time. But the thing is, Indiana said, well, they want the Bears to commit to them if they're going to approve this. But, the Bears have said, well, we have to do due diligence on the site, and that can take, a year to check out the site in Hammond, Indiana, where they're talking about a new stadium, and see if it's even appropriate for a stadium. Make sure there's no toxic waste there, because there's a Superfund site right near there.
Right, yeah.
And there's refineries right near there. So, just like they did with Arlington Heights, they spent a couple of years checking that out and doing traffic studies and everything else. So this, I think, even though the Indiana thing makes Illinois is going to have to do something this spring. The lawmakers are going to have to decide what they want to do. But then it's still going to take, could take a while before the Bears decide where they're going to go.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Bob McCoppin from the Chicago Tribune is on the Dick Van Dyke of Plants World phone line with us. Bob wrote a fantastic article, and there were other reporters involved as well, kind of breaking down the Bears' potential move to Indiana. Is there... I don't know if this is the right question or not, Bob, but stick with me on this. Is there just maybe more concern than there should be among Bear fans right now with this? Are people just jumping way too far ahead on this one?
Yeah, people were kind of freaking out when, yesterday when Indiana was doing this, and I saw one fan on TV said if the Bears moved to Indiana, they would be dead to him. So, I'm sure there's some people who feel that way. And, there's a lot of season ticket holders up, on the north and west sides of Chicago who are not going to want to drive to Indiana every other Sunday, for a game. But, yeah, I would say don't freak out yet. There's still a long way to go. But it's gonna cost people money wherever they end up.
Right.
The Bears are gonna charge. They're gonna sell personal seat licenses. That's gonna cost a lot of money already just to stay in Soldier Field. So wherever they go, it's gonna cost everybody a little more money.
Yeah, it's not like they're moving to L.A. I saw some people comparing this to the Rams situation, or the Raiders, or the Chargers, some of these other teams that have moved, and it just feels like it's on a completely different playing field. But once again, what do I know? So as we look at this whole situation, does it feel like the Arlington Heights situation is gone now, or is that still the Brass's preferred location?
Yeah, no, it is still, Arlington Heights is still in play. I mean, I think that the Bears would really, that's their preferred location because they already own the land. They spent $200 million to buy the old racetrack there. And they have 300 plus, 326 acres out there of empty land that they can do with whatever they want. And, so you can build, restaurants and hotels around there and have a whole, complex for, an entertainment complex for the fans. And, it would generate a lot more property tax, too, for the local government. So that would be, and it would keep it in Illinois. So, the Bears say, well, even wherever we go, most people are still going to, any out-of-towners are going to stay in Chicago, so Chicago would still get the benefits. So, I think, there's 10 NFL teams now. I'm going to have a story out tomorrow about, all these other teams that don't play in the cities that they're named for, so.
Right.
But they still keep that name, Dallas Cowboys, both New York teams, both the LA teams, none of them play in the big cities. They're out in the suburbs. So fans, do get used to it wherever they end up.
Well, Bob, I look forward to that story. That was my next question before we let you go, is what you were working on, and now we know. And I hope we can have you back on once things become a little bit more clear with what's going to happen with the Bears and where they're going to end up, whether that be in Arlington Heights or Hammond, Indiana, or Chicago, or maybe they end up in Champaign. But looking forward to talking to you again, man.
They did play in Champaign.
We
before,
know.
Didn't they?
Oh, yes, they did. And Al Michaels famously on Monday Night Football said that Champaign was notorious for just having a 2-star hotel. Apparently, wherever his accommodations weren't that great for Al that year. So,
well, I went to school there, so I like Champaign, and maybe they'll, you never know. Maybe they'll end up there while they're building a new stadium. But
hey, there you go.
Would love to talk to you again. I think this is not over yet. We got a long way to go.
Long way to go. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. That is Bob McCoppin from the Chicago Tribune on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us, 217-359-2255. That's your number if you want to text in on the Max Twin City Recycling text line in regards to this story. Or we talked a lot today about Illinois versus UCLA, but I think that was a good voice to hear from, because his article, it really kind of looks at everything else. And I have this issue with Kevin Warren in regards to moving the stadium. That's where I feel like more people should be looking at what the front office is ultimately trying to do. But Bob's article and the people that worked on it, great voices of reason in this story. And ultimately, maybe more people should calm down about it. They should have your opinion. Who cares, Evan?
Well, it's not just me.
Who else doesn't care?
Scott and Terre Haute.
Scott and Terre Haute? Oh, Scott and Terre Haute chimed in, 217-359. Yeah, who cares? Hey, he's right there with you.
Yeah.
Heath on the text line, they never got the Piatone Airport built. Maybe the Bears could move there. There you go. That's a good reference, Heath.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I have seen a lot of people say, oh, it's 25 minutes or it's whatever. It's not, Coop. It's not just 25 minutes, right?
No, it's totally different when you factor in, like, traffic especially.
Yeah. I mean, it might be as the crow flies, 25. Have you ever heard that phrase before?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
See, crows are these birds. Anyways, go ahead.
As the crow flies, it might be 25 minutes. I understand it adds a lot more time, but also I'm in the same vein of, like, I don't think but like, people are going to be fans. If someone's going to be like, this team's dead to me because they moved to Hammond, see a therapist.
It is interesting how people don't care about things until it affects them, or they perceive that it affects them directly. To Bob's point, well, the Cowboys, they're not in Dallas. They're in Arlington, Texas. The Giants and the Jets, they're actually in New Jersey. They're not in New York, et cetera, et cetera. But it's, a charter franchise that has been in that city, and they've only played in 2 places, right? Wrigley Field, Soldier Field, that's it. And then, of course, Champaign.
Decatur, of course.
Well, that's when they were the Staley, sir. Okay, we only count those championships. We don't count the name.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that has made a little bit of sense to me is, and I believe Chris brought it up yesterday. I've seen it online a little bit. You are moving in the exact opposite direction of like 75-80% of your season ticket holders.
That's
the only thing.
That's the big point.
Hallis Hall doesn't bother me. They can easily build a new Hallis Hall. Who the heck cares? State lines don't bother me. And in fact, as a business owner, I would probably rather live in Hammond, Indiana than Chicago, Illinois, and get the tax breaks and all that different kind of stuff. Like, it's just nothing else really is that big of it. They build a state-of-the-art $5 billion stadium facility and area. I don't think people are going to care once they see it. Cooper, you need to speak into this.
I care. I don't know. I feel like them crossing state lines just seems ridiculous, to be honest. Because it's like, I don't know. This is the team I've grown up rooting for. What, they're just going to play in Indiana? That's stupid.
That seems to be what they're going to do.
Yeah, I don't think I would gamble that they are not going to play in Indiana. I think they're going to end up in Arlington Heights.
I think Arlington. I agree with Bob that Arlington Heights is ultimately. Here's what I do think. I don't think they're going to be in the city after this. Whatever it is, when this deal gets done, Soldier Field, as you know it, is going to be an attraction for big concerts or something like that. But and ultimately that also becomes competition between the Bears if they move to Arlington Heights and they set up a new stadium on that land they built or purchased rather. They build there. If you're booking Beyonce, AC/DC, whatever, these huge acts that can fill stadiums, you're going to be competing with the city and the park district to bring them to your facility versus what's already there. 217-359-2255. That's your number, Scott and Terre Haute. It's not like the Rams leaving St. Louis. The Chiefs are moving to the state of Kansas. It's business we will fan.
Yeah.
Should we reach out to Mahomes and our Chiefs contacts to see how they feel about the big move out of Kansas City into the state of Kansas?
I would venture, what percentage of football fans do you think believe the Chiefs are already in Kansas?
Probably a lot.
I think I would venture 75% of football fans already think they're in Kansas.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and warn my Chiefs friends that go to games out there. The barbecue at the stadium going to be terrible once they move to the state of Kansas. Forget about Kansas City barbecue. The recipe won't travel, sir. It's going to get bland, plain chicken, boiled chicken. That's what they're going to serve you. Just pathetic boiled chicken.
Probably
no
a lot
flavor.
of turkey.
217 texter, as a Cardinals fan, can we move the Cubs to Indiana next? No. John and Camargo getting us back on track with his score prediction. Illinois 83, UCLA 61.
That'd be nice.
We'll do some score predictions. We'll do some toasts. Coop, you doing okay over there, buddy?
I'm doing good.
I know you're fired up about this. I know it's a passionate thing that you got.
Yeah, it's just annoying. I don't like it.
I wonder if there's a difference in air temperature between Hammond and Chicago. If you and your lovely girlfriend would freeze more or less if the Bears played in Hammond.
Does Hammond have lake effect?
Yeah, I mean, there's still lake effect. There's still snow.
Probably the same.
Probably about the same. Yeah, she's gonna freeze with you no matter what. All right, we'll do our score predictions and Friday toast next on The Drive.
February, the month of love, the month to
Break up with that junk. 2 Men in a Junk Truck will help you dump that old sofa, nasty fridge, and worn out TV. Don't stay in a toxic relationship with your clutter. Break free. Our friendly crews make the entire process easy. You point, we haul, no judgment. Decluttering doesn't have to be a project. Contact 2 Men in a Junk Truck today and be junk free by tomorrow. 2meninajuncktruck.com. 2 Men in a Junk Truck. Junk removal made simple.
All right, Ashley has a big President's Day sale.
We always have President's Day deals and sales and things. It kind of just depends on what you're looking for. But we are offering the 0% for 60 months, no money down financing offer. Don't pay your first bill till after you get your furniture. It's a win-win. Otherwise, we have great hot buys, doorbusters on living room, bedroom, dining, you name it. We got it.
When is all this happening?
We are going to extend that sale till March 3rd.
And the hours?
Our hours are 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and Sunday we're 11 to 6.
Okay.
Ashley.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over.
PDR Automotive in Urbana is a locally owned repair shop, and they've now serviced over 250,000 vehicles in their near 50-year history. Now, that's more than 4 times the size of a sold-out Memorial Stadium. It's more than all Division I athletes in the country combined. That's more than the entire population of Champaign County. That's more than, well, you get the idea. When you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Support the Champaign County Fair in Kessler Hall on Saturday, February 28th with the Cash Bash. Your $100 ticket gets you a spot on the playing board to try to win the big money and a grand prize worth $5,000. Get friends together for the dinner, drinks, and a night of fun on the fairgrounds at 1302 North Polar Avenue in Urbana. It will benefit the operations of the Champaign County Fair happening July 24th through August 1st. Saturday, February 28th. It's the Cash Bash. Visit ChampaignCountyFair.cc. Voters across Illinois are going to the polls for the primary election that will wrap up on Tuesday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. You'll be selecting candidates that best represent you and your district in the general election on November 3rd. Voting by mail should be done 5 days prior to the election or March 12th for your ballot to be counted. There are 11 drop boxes in Champaign County. To get up-to-date information and review your ballot, visit the county clerk's website. Let's get the vote out and exercise this right through March 17th with the crew at Stevie J Broadcasting.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Let's make a little money first before we do our Friday toast. Or maybe we can toast to making that money, Evan Stone. ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. The nephew, Cooper O'Kelly, in studio. And we got to get that money. It is time for Etched in Stone. This is where Evan checks out the money lines. He looks at the overs and the unders. And we make a little extra cash for our pockets if we can. We try to.
Yeah.
What are you looking at for tonight as we head into the weekend?
We mentioned this a little bit yesterday. Kind of a slow night tonight, just college basketball-wise. Couple of games. So I've got 2 for tonight, 3 for tomorrow. That's what we're going to do. Starting off, we've been hitting fighting John Grosses a lot because they've been dominating this year. They've been really good. They travel to Ball State tonight. They're getting 13.5 points. Ball State has 9 wins on the season. They're just not a very good team. I'm trusting. This is what John Gross does. He just feasts on really bad MAC teams.
Is that what the man does?
Yeah. So go ahead and give me Akron minus 13.5 at Ball State.
Goodness gracious.
I'm sorry. I hit the goodness gracious. I'm not sorry. I meant to do that. All right. The fighting John Grosses, baby.
Yep. All right. And then the Big Ten game tonight. You got Indiana traveling to Purdue. Mackey Arena out there in West Lafayette. Purdue's getting 11.5 points. This feels like payback for what happened in Bloomington.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
So I'm going to take Purdue minus 11.5 to give it to Indiana. The little payback at home, etch it in stone.
I feel like you're not going to jinx your picks like I did mine when you were out the other day. I feel like we're in good shape. No. I feel like we're 2 for 2.
Yep. All right, tomorrow, there's lots of games tomorrow.
Let's go.
College basketball is pretty notorious. A lot of the time, they don't release lines or whatever for a lot of the games until day of. So a couple of lines that are out already. Kansas and Cincinnati getting after it tomorrow. Cincinnati goes under in just about every single game. Kansas goes under in a lot of their games. Total is 134.5, which sounds like a low number, but I could totally see this being a very low-scoring game, especially on Cincinnati's part. So give me Kansas, Cincinnati under 134.5. Etch it in stone.
Under. Going under. Never know where you'll find a dollar bill.
All right, North Carolina coming off a just butt-whooping to NC State. Cooper, you got some inside information for me here? Is their guy back?
I don't think so. I thought Caleb Wilson was out for like a really long time.
Is he still out?
Let me see.
This was an interesting line to me, and I didn't know. I hadn't had a chance to look up if he was back or not. But North Carolina going to Syracuse. North Carolina is a 1.5-point favorite. Syracuse is not a very good basketball team. Not saying NC State's a very good basketball team either, but man, I gotta think that North Carolina can pull out a win at Syracuse.
Their coach Hubert Davis says that Caleb Wilson tried practicing yesterday, but he didn't let him. They're doing more images, and he's going to have a more clear update next week.
Okay, I'm still doing it. I'm going to take North Carolina -1.5 at Syracuse, etched in stone.
We're still doing it, baby.
Bounce back game for them.
We ride. All right, you got any more, sir?
I got one more. That's
one
4.
More. Oh, that's right.
And
That was 4. Yep.
Game of the weekend.
Let's do it.
Michigan and Duke. Is this at Cameron Indoor or is it neutral site?
It's neutral site in Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. Okay. Michigan and Duke. I think Michigan's a 2.5-point favorite, something like that.
I believe it.
But I'm looking at the total here. The number is 148.5. And I think both these teams out in D.C., they can get it rolling. They can get moving and get going. I'm going to go Michigan, Duke over 148.5 etched in stone.
There you go. Over the top. Let's run through it one more time, dude.
We got Akron -13.5 tonight at Ball State. Purdue getting 11.5 points at home against Indiana. Kansas and Cincinnati tomorrow under 134.5. North Carolina -1.5 at Syracuse. And then Michigan and Duke over 148.5 tomorrow. And if we were allowed to do it, I would take Illinois -6.5 all day at the Pauley Center.
If we were allowed to.
The Pauley Shore building.
Well, we are. We can't do it on our phones. We have to go somewhere in person. And who's got time for that?
We could go to Hammond.
We could go to Hammond. We go to Sauget. That's where the off-track betting site is I've told you about.
Sauget.
Yeah, it looks like Sauget, but it's pronounced Sauget.
Oh,
that's down by St. Louis. Yeah.
You guys are just making up towns.
No,
at this
we're
point.
not. No, we are. No, I am not, sir. Sauget is home for Pop's Music Venue, one of my favorite music venues in all of the Midwest.
All right.
Cool.
And,
it's down by Effingham.
It's nowhere near Effingham. It's insane.
You don't know Effingham?
No.
You think we're
I'm
making
not
that one
from
up?
around here.
You know what? Wait. Let me ask Coop this one. Do you know where Seidel is?
No.
Have you heard of Seidel?
I think I've heard you guys talk about it.
Okay, never mind then. All right. Vince from Danville, didn't the Cardinals football team originate in Chicago? That would be correctamundo.
Yeah, they've
sir.
already lost one team. They can't handle another loss. Guys, they've already had one move.
And hey, Vince, whatever you do, don't bring it up to Uncle Lon that his beloved Cardinals in Arizona actually started as a Chicago sports team. Don't tell him. Whatever you do, don't tell him. Big Def says, go fighting Grosses. And then, of course, he met John Croce once in Philly when he was recruiting Juwan Evans and Elijah Thomas together at a summer showcase event. Did he say he got a special wristband, Big Def says, because I'm bald with a beard and glasses? Illini Polo. He got a special wristband. They thought I was a coach. You should be a coach, Big Dev. Let's see if we can get him on Bielema's staff before football starts.
I mean, he knows. I want to know, Big Def, what did you actually do in the NFL?
Did you play left tackle, right tackle, D tackle?
Cooper, your review for One Battle After Another.
Are we going to go letterbox?
Have you seen it?
I saw it.
I'm not going to say it on the air, but yeah. Okay, so
Wait a
if
minute,
you are a listener,
did he swear?
He did not swear.
Okay,
it might be a spoiler. I don't know. So if you're a listener, there is an app.
Spoiler.
It is called Letterboxd.
We're on like a streak of talking about it.
It's pretty cool. You know,
I don't think we've done it on the air though.
We did.
Well, yeah, we
yesterday.
did. Yeah, here's how I know we did. I've told you about Aaron, the young man that does delivery of Jimmy John's in Tuscola.
Oh, yeah.
He came. I ordered a sandwich the other night. He came to the house and he's like, "So, how many movies have you watched?" And I was like, "You heard us talk about that?" He's like, "Yeah, I heard Evan say he watched at least 1,000. How many of you watched?" I was like, "Man,
that's right.
Yeah.
We did do that. But yeah, you can come follow us on Letterboxd. We're all on there. You can check out our movies, and you can see. Cooper's got some interesting ratings.
Is there one that really jumps out to you?
Well, I'm trying to find them now, but he gave Black Panther the same rating as Paddington 2.
Paddington 2 is a banger.
So it's there's a lot going on there.
Coop, I am so glad that you walked through these doors a few months ago about working here, man. I can't begin to tell you how happy it makes me that you are on this team, dude.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. We got a 1-star review. Batman versus Superman, 1 star.
That movie was terrible.
You really didn't like Batman versus Superman.
Very disappointing.
I have a friend that will defend that forever. He'll say this is as close to the comics as any movie has ever been. I can't answer it because I heard it was terrible, so I didn't bother watching Batman versus Superman.